Hello everyone and welcome to a wonderful game that just finished from the Julius Baer Generation Cup. It is a part of the Champions Chess Tour and it is Azerbaijani Grandmaster Aydin Suleymanli versus, sorry, not Peter Svidler. Sorry about that, against Levon Aronian, and Suleymanli is having a great tournament. He already defeated a couple of very strong players. He defeated Nihal Sarin, he defeated Anish Giri, and in the previous round he defeated Maxim Vachier-Lagrave, and now he faces Levon Aronian in a most tactical frenzy of a game. So let's see what happened here. We have pawn to c4. Aydin opens with the English opening. We have knight to f6, knight to f3, and pawn to e6. We have g3, d5, so a pretty standard Neo-Catalan here, bishop to g2, and pawn to d4 now. Levon grabs more space in the center. We have castles and pawn to c5 now. He defends his d4 pawn, e3, and knight to c6. So all been played before, again, nothing new here. Captures, rook to e1, and bishop to d6. We have d3, h6, and now knight b to d2. We have castles by Levon, a3 preparing b4, and of course a5 stopping b4. And there are a couple of games that reach this position. Rook to b1 is a non-move, queen to c2 is a non-move, but here we have knight to e4, and it is now as of move 12 that we have a completely new game. So this is where a game basically begins. Let's see how Levon treats this knight to e4 novelty. He says, all right, knight captures on e4. If this was any good, someone would already play it. Rook captures and just pawn to e5. Now the rook doesn't have all that much to do here. Bishop to f5 can be played, pawn to f5 can be played, knight to h4, and now rook to b8. Interestingly, if f5, this looks great for black, but after the rook moves, there's just no good follow-up. You don't have e4, you don't have f4, and you have somewhat weakened your king. So Levon waits with that. He plays rook to b8, and now queen to h5. Aydin brings the queen into the attack, and now you have to be a little bit worried. The bishop is here, the knight is here, the queen is here, the rook is here. If the rook moves, then bishop to e4 can happen. If Levon just plays, for example, b5, he did play rook to b8, so b5 is not out of the question. Then you would run into bishop captures on h6, and after g captures, queen captures, Aydin would give up two pieces for the a piece for two pawns, and he would just get a very nice attack. Like I said, three of the attackers are already here. If the rook moves, the bishop can come over to claim this diagonal, so it would be white who would be fighting for the win here. So instead, queen f6, Levon not to be tricked easily, and now pawn to f4. Of course, you want to open up lines of attack towards the black king. You want to move the bishop and then bring the rook into the game as well. Bishop to d7, and now pawn to f5, just grabbing more space here. And believe it or not, here Levon played b5 and he is dead lost. However, this is rapid time format, 10 plus 0, and I didn't miss it. Do you guys see how you can win this game really quickly with white? Feel free to pause the video and win it while I give you a couple of seconds. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations on finding this unstoppable attack. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, it is rook to g4. So simple yet so elegant. Black is without a move. Next move, bishop captures on h6 is happening, and then you just get absolutely destroyed. And you might think, well, okay, let's just move the king and our g pawn isn't pinned. That's absolutely true, but now your h pawn is pinned, and now bishop to g5 wins the black queen. So remarkable, but of course Aydin did not even think for a second that Levon would blunder something like this. You just don't expect that from such a player. And he played his next move g4 with maybe within 3 seconds. So a tough break for him. But luckily Levon did not stop the attack with g5. Levon continued playing on the queen side. He played b captures on c4, and now g5 is incredibly strong. We have pawn to g6 now attacking Aydin's queen, and now f captures on g6. We have f captures on g6 again attacking his queen, and knight captures on g6. Queen to f2 with check, king to h1, and now rook to f7. King to h1 first and rook to f7, and now white is again completely winning, but you have to find the correct idea. There are many possibilities here, and two of them are very good, so I'm sure you guys already have some ideas. Of course, rook to e2 comes to mind to kick off the queen from such an active square, but the really strong move is the one that always eludes us, and that, of course, is a move with the knight back. And Suleymanli, like I said, this is a 10-minute rapid game. He had some 4 minutes and 50 seconds when he started thinking in this position, and he spent 4 minutes. He was down to 57 seconds when he played this move. He played knight to h4, and now the threat of queen g6 check and winning the bishop is simply too powerful. Also, g6 is coming. You can just start capturing. It's hard to even start pairing all of the threats here. And the point is, if you let's say play rook g7, then just g6, and now bishop captures on h6, and that's pretty much it. Black has no play. The knight, bishop, the other bishop, the rook, none of them are part of this game, and the queen alone can't really do all that much, regardless of how close she is to the white king. So after knight to h4, c captures on d3, Levon decided to play actively, and okay, Aydin accepts the challenge, queen to g6 with check, rook to g7, and now queen captures on d6, also puts pressure on the rook here, so you can't move the knight. Rook to f8, and now pawn to g6. Now the pawn here is incredibly strong, also bishop captures on h6 is an idea, but now pawn to d2 traps the bishop here, but not a problem. Bishop captures, queen captures, and now rook captures on e5, giving up the exchange and completely shattering Levon's position here. The problem is, if you take, then comes bishop to d5 with check, and then if knight to f7, or you give up the knight, doesn't really matter, g captures with check, you can't move the king, otherwise queen captures on f8 happens, so you have to play rook g captures on f7, then comes rook to g1, this is with tempo, the black king is in check, king h7, and now bishop captures on f7, and black is just down too much material, without any real counterplay. Rook captures, queen to g6 with check, king to h8, and of course even checkmate can happen. So after rook captures on e5, rook to f2 was played instead, and now still bishop to d5 with check, king to h8, and now rook to f5, giving up more material, looking for bishop captures on f5. It wasn't played, but even if it was, of course, just queen to f8 with check, rook to g8, and this will be checkmate. So instead, after rook f5, knight to e7, attacking the bishop and rook here, and now just rook captures on f2, queen captures on f2, and now queen captures on d7. And with a light square bishop guarding this diagonal, the white king really has no enemies for the rest of the game. Queen captures on h4, queen to d8 with check. This is a very nasty check because you can't even block with the knight. If you block with the knight, then the queen on h4 hangs. So instead, after queen to d8 with check, rook to g8 was played, and now just pawn to g7. Beautiful, absolutely stunning. What can you do? If you go king to h7, which kind of makes sense, then just bishop captures on g8 with check, and if you play knight captures, then just queen captures on h4. We said that if the knight moves, that's a big problem, and if king captures, then rook to g1 check, and again you get absolutely destroyed here. You're down a full rook. No point in playing this. So after g7 check, king captures was played right away, rook to g1 with check, and now king to f6, and here queen to d6 check was played, and he was in this position on move 36 that Levon Aronian resigned the game, as there is nothing more to be done here. Two more moves can be played, king to f5, and after queen to e6 with check, king to f4, queen to e4 will be checkmate. So brilliantly done by 18-year-old Aydin Suleymanli, first defeating Nihal Sarin, then Anish Giri, then Maxim Vacher-Lagrave, then Levon Aronian, and while I'm recording this video, he's actually playing against none other than Alireza Firuza. So I can check how that game is going if you guys want. If you don't want me to spoil it for you, don't listen, but I'm gonna mention it now. So he played Alireza and he lost that game. So he had a great run, but then came Alireza, and that was it. There you have it. Very nicely done. Beautiful attack. He found this new move, knight to e4. Levon treated it well, but at some point, it was just the attack was too strong. And even this is beautiful, and like always my favorite part, when you play a strong player like a Levon Aronian, a former 2800 player, you just don't expect him to make such a blunder that you can play rook g4 and you win. There's no move. Either you get checkmated or you trap the black queen. But yeah, I mean, crazy stuff. What are you gonna do? So yeah, once again, really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any other game that you would like seen, do use hashtag suggestion, and I will go over it. There are so many games being played, I cannot cover all of. I cannot follow all of them. So if you have a nice one, just send me a link via email, via Twitter, via any social platform, and I will always very gladly receive it. So yeah, once again, really hope you guys enjoyed it. I would like to thank Gary Chomuk, Rod Hill, Leonidas Marhal, Frederick Kasden, and Christoph Mark for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon, continuing to check up on your wonderful suggestions and whatever else happens in the chess world. Thank you all, I will see you soon, and have an excellent rest of your day.